Hello. I am talking my shit about a book review. This right here, which is Steeped in Gold. It is written by Fionn Smart. She was born in England, but she has Jamaican heritage. Two witches on separate sides. You have the Alumbra, which are like the light witches, and you have the Obeah, which are dark witches. They're really not, but one Obeah witch, Irea Adair, and the Alumbra witch, Jasmine Carriot. They both want to remove the Doyone from power. The Doyone is a title that means leader of the island. So she's the leader of the island of Ica. Jasmine wants to kill her mother, because she's just a cunt. Like, she wants to kill her mother for other reasons. She wants to kill her mother because she thinks, as the leader of the Alumbra, her mother, she's not doing a good enough job, and she's gonna lead. She's just repeating a horrible cycle. It's just going to continue the bloodshed. And she's not for blood, because supposedly the Alumbra are not supposed to kill. Whereas Araya wants to kill the Doyone, because the Doyone has killed her parents and took her throne. She killed her mother, who was the original Doyone, and killed her father, made her order the Obeah, as she made them second-class citizens in Ica, which is their homeland. And she stripped them of their magic. And she, the Doyone, Judea Carriot. So that's a synopsis. And I'm gonna just dive into the pros right now, based on Caribbean culture. And for my personal readings, I have not read too many books where the main characters were like, I can name on my hand the number of books I read where the main characters were black. Now it's about two hands. So 6, 7 where the main characters are black. But this is the first book that I read that the main characters were not just Afro-descendant or within the African diaspora, but they were Caribbean. It's nice to see. And there's Patois. They speak Patois in the book. They represent Obeah. The author represents Obeah. This book represents Obeah. Not in a positive light, not in a negative light, but in a human light. She's very descriptive of the setting and the time. If you enjoy reading, and like part of the reason you enjoy reading is like you can easily imagine the setting where everything is and whatnot, she does a very good job of it. She does it so well. I've seen it so often that if you notice something like that while you're reading, you will notice it and you will have a clear picture in your mind of how the person looks and how the setting looks and everything. She's very, very good at that. It is magnifique. Next, the characters are amazing. Irea Adair, she starts off doing dickhead shit. like she almost dies in the beginning. And but then the way Judier, the Doyone is, I believe she just planned that shit just cause. But she almost got herself killed in the beginning. But she's brash. She's abrasive. She is in windows for days, my guy. And she knows how to fight. She's a fighter, like. But she grows within the story. She gets smarter, and she has a tough outer shell because she wants to protect her order and keep them away. And you'll see why, and you'll be like, okay, I can respect that. So to outsiders, she's brash or she's uncaring for people of her order, but she's doing it to protect them. She's keeping distance to protect them, and you'll see why. Now we have Miss Jasmine Carriot. She, in the beginning, she is shy. She's kind of unsure of herself. She kind of has to be told what to do. She doesn't have to be told to do, but it's like her mother has to remind her, and she makes it known. If I didn't tell you what the fuck to do, like, you're supposed to be the emissary, do your fucking job. But she doesn't really have a backbone and whatnot. In the beginning, it's well known how the Alumbra are supposed to operate and how they're supposed to be, because she says it, and the story is told in first person. Both sides. So, and each chapter switches between Araya or Ira and Jasmine. And I liked Araya's chapters more because I liked her character way more. But I loved seeing how Jasmine grew into how she grew. Because she grew into like an image of her mother, but with I'm doing this for the betterment of all kind of skin, In the beginning, she wanted to make it better. But instead of having the Obeah lose their magic after they finish conscription, they can keep it. Like, she wanted to change it by making a show of, not actually making any change of, fixing the interracial issues that are within. And that's her character. Now, I love the way she grew. She grew from someone who's shy, somewhat doubtful, kind of has to be told what to do, Prude? Not necessarily. I'll say kinda, but nah, she's very squeamish around sex. The scenes with Araya, those are my favorite scenes with Jasmine and Araya. They are the epitome of an uneasy alliance because Araya would get on her nerves on purpose, and I fucking loved it. And she'd do the same thing to emissary Div Sylar. She knew what made both of them uncomfortable, and she made it her mission to tease them about this shit. It was beautiful. I loved it. Judea Carriot, my God, how can I describe the cunt? She is a full-blown cunt. Wholeheartedly believes that the Obeah are lesser than her, but at the same time, she conscripts them and uses them as her shield. She has them trained to use magic, and she has them sign a contract by ingesting their blood, which is Obeah magic, to ensure that they can't touch her, like, at all. Because if she didn't, she'd be dead, like off rip. Like, she'd be. The wording of the contract is specific. That makes sense towards the end. Yeah, I like her character. She like I hated her because I hated her in one scene because she's so conniving. She's so not petty, just she knows how to people say she knows how to make it good, and that's her character. She stays pretty much constant throughout. She's intelligent, conniving. She's dumb, powerful, and that's the characters. Now their goals. Each has their own goals and for their own reason. The Dione maintain power. Araya killed the Dione because she killed her parents and took her mother's throne. And Jasmine, she sees the Dione as a horrible leader who is going to continue shedding blood to maintain power. And when she finds out why she's doing it, oh shit, their goals align. But Jasmine's trying to do everything in her power to not have Araya. But she's so desperate that she's like, fuck, I have to use Araya. And a lot of shit happens in between that's really amazing. And Araya's just there trying to kill her, and she's trying to do all this. It's very beautiful. And the way, and again, going back to how Obeah magic is used, positive uses that they use for it, and negative. But it's not like, oh, this is evil. The book doesn't claim it's evil because it's evil. The Alumbra do that, but you can see the hypocrisy in the statement because they have an event called the Yielding, where they select teenagers to perform trials for the seventh face mother. And when it's mentioned to Araya, she's like, even Obeah don't kill their own, which is because you think something that uses the dead speak to your ancestors or possess someone, you think they would willingly do that, but they don't. And I love that nuance to it. And then the twist at the end and towards the end and at the end is, I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't really have that many negatives really. So the ending happened too fast. That's it. On to the next section. Final thoughts. The book was a good length. I like that it's first person. There's not much exposition. Beautiful. I love it so much. And there's a lot of intra-racism in this book. You could see that it's evident in the story, and there's many subtle words or phrases or discussions or conversations where you can see how the Alumbra view the Obeah for their practices. They don't have access to their magic. They live in poverty more or less, and they are in prison. They don't have much say. No Obeah on the council. It's just Alumbra. Because even in the story, Araya mentions that Jasmine was trained, that was taught to hate her. And she wonders, if you weren't taught to hate me, how would things end up? She could be talking about herself as well. If she wasn't taught to hate the Alumbra, or end up hating the Alumbra for what has happened to her mother, to her family, and her people, would they be friends? Could they be friends? That was me talking my shit. I'm out. It's done. I love you. If you like it, tell me. It got darker while I was out, so you can see all my chocolatey goodness a little bit before I leave. But y'all be easy. Stay safe. Out of context for the win. Let's go. Judea was like, the fuck for, man? I don't give a fuck. Y'all don't give a fuck my daughter. She dead. She died because she was weak. That weak ass